Hi guys, and welcome to another one of my lipstick declutter videos. If you've missed any of my other declutter videos, I will link them down below. We've been going through all my lipsticks and liquid lipsticks to try and cull the collection down to what is going to be a more manageable number for me personally. Today we are going to be looking at all of my mauves, purples, and greiges. So this is a color category that I do like quite a bit. I do like cool toned lipsticks, and I even like wearing some purples, but mauves in particular is definitely something that I really love. And then at the end of the video, I am going to swatch a couple of the more mauve-y shades against some of the more mauve neutrals that I've kept, just to make sure I don't have any crossover between the two of them. So these videos are always super long, so let's go ahead and get these all laid out. All right, we're gonna start with the mauves first, because this is definitely what I have the absolute most of. As we've done with past declutters, I'm gonna slide all of these liquid lipsticks to the side, and we'll start with the regular lipsticks. Let's start at this end. These are some of the more balmy type lipsticks. So this is from Loreal. This is one of their color Riche shines in Varnished Rosewood. I think this is probably my favorite shade of all of the ones that I own in this color Riche line. It's definitely a really pretty cool toned, almost greyish leaning mauve. This is the Maybelline version of the same lipstick. This is in the shade Taupe Seduction. This was released about, I don't know, 6 to 8 months after the color Riche shines were, and I have to admit the formula is probably exactly identical, and even these colors look super similar, but I much prefer the packaging from the L'Oreal ones. Maybelline and L'Oreal are sister companies, and you often see them releasing sometimes the exact same formula. This is it's Balm from Julep in the shade Pink Cream. Although it says pink, I definitely find this to be a little bit more mauve-y. This is from NYX. This is one of their lip lustres. I could have put this in liquid lipsticks, but it's definitely shinier. I would say it's a comparable formula to something like the NARS Velvet Lip Glide. In fact, that's looking a little rosy pink as opposed to mauve. Now that I see it, I may have put that one in the wrong bin. This is from Urban Decay. This is the shade Rapture. They still carry this shade, as I recall, in their Vice lipstick line. This was their older lipstick formula. This is the shade Tea Rose from e.l.f. in their matte lip color. This is a really pretty sort of dusky, murky, in fact, I almost could have put that in my greige, but it's got a lot of purple leaning to it. Now we get into some more traditional mauves. So this is the shade Dolly Danger from Buxom in their Plumpline lip liners. This is definitely more of your traditional mauve shade there. This is a little duo from Soap & Glory. This is their Poutstanding lipstick. You have a matte liner at one end, and it's just like a traditional mauve, and then on the opposite end you have a shine lipstick, and this is almost nude-ish now that I see that. It is a really nice formula. I like that little duo. This is from ColourPop. This is the shade Baewatch. This is a matte formula. And this one definitely has a lot of purpley type undertones to it, little berry. This is the shade Brown Blush from Maybelline in their matte line. This one is super pretty, definitely more of that greigey undertone to it. This is from Kiko Milano. This is their Velvet Passion line, as I recall. Yes, Velvet Passion number 315. This is going to be more of a pinky mauve. This is from Essence. This is Matte line in 03. These lipsticks were so nice, and I think Ulta stopped carrying them, unfortunately, but it really is a nice lipstick line. This is the shade Movember from Bite Beauty. I fear that I'm going to have to pass this on, even though this color is so pretty. It's so old. This is from 2016. Late 2016, so it's more of a, I think I purchased this in December of 2016, so you could probably count it as a 2017 lipstick. It doesn't smell bad though, so maybe I could get one more year out of it. And then this is the shade I Am Fabulous from Milani in their Bold Matte line. All right, so here's the plan. I am going to be keeping the color Riche Shine versus the Maybelline. They look almost exactly the same. So Varnished Rosewood is staying, and I'm getting rid of Taupe Seduction. I'm actually going to get rid of these next two. I feel like I've got a lot of pinks that I kept from my pink declutter. To be honest, this Orchid Pink from Julep, I feel like I have kept in my pink collection now that I see those. And kind of same thing with this from NYX, this Lip Lustre. I don't even think they make this formula anymore, and it's starting to smell a little off, so I'm going to go ahead and pass that on. I really do like the shade Rapture, but this is very old from Urban Decay, and I feel like it's starting to smell a little funny, so that is going to get passed along. This matte lip color in Tea Rose from e.l.f. I am definitely going to keep. I think it's really fun and really pretty. These next two I feel like are in my nude collection. I could go and swatch these against shades that I've kept in my nudes, but I just know that these are colors that I already have in my collection, and I feel like I like these formulas, but I'm not overly passionate about keeping them. Baewatch I think is a really pretty berry mauve, so I do think I want to keep that. I think it's a really nice sort of mid-toned berry mauve, so I'm going to hang on to that. I'm also going to hang on to Brown Blush. It's one of my favorite shades from Maybelline. I honestly, as this shade starts to turn, because these Maybelline lipsticks I don't find last super long, I will find a cruelty-free dupe, because this is one of my favorite shades to wear in the fall. I think I'm going to keep this one from Kiko Milano. I really do like that formula. However, I am going to pass on the next shade from Essence. I just feel like this color is a little darker, and I think I would prefer this Kiko one over this Essence one, so I'm going to pass that on. I feel like I want to hang on to Movember just one last year and try and get some more use out of it, since it was limited edition. I can't get it anymore. And then I really am attached to this shade here. You know, it's a traditional mauve, and I think it's very comparable to that Varnished Rosewood down there, but it's just a matte shade, and so I want to keep this one from Milani as well. Alright, so here are my liquid lipsticks in mauve form. Let's go ahead and swatch all of these. This is the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink in the shade Lover number 15. This has definitely been probably my favorite color from them. It's a deeper mauve color, and this lasts on my lips so well throughout the day. It is a thicker formula that takes a while to dry down. It's never one of those lipsticks that feels like there's nothing on your lips, but it is the most long-lasting lipstick in my collection, hands down. So I'm going to be tempted to keep this shade in particular. This is from Ofra. I don't know what color this is. This came in an Ipsy bag. I feel like it was a while ago. Keep things from rolling away here. And I feel like it's starting to turn a little bit. It's not horrible. I might be able to keep that one. We'll see. Now it's a little more rosy, and that one's a little more nude. This is the NYX Powder Puff, excuse me, Lippie, and this is in the shade Moody. This is sort of a liquefied lipstick formula that gives sort of a soft, sort of satin matte formula on the lips. It kind of gives that lip stain look. This is the shade Dopey from ColourPop. These are gonna all roll away on me. These just get really messy. I feel like the stoppers, as you use them more and more, the stoppers start to fall out on them, and then they end up getting super messy, and so that is what I feel like is going on with the shade Dopey, but it is a really pretty color and one of ColourPop's more popular shades. Let's do Huda last. We'll keep swatching so these don't roll away. This is Kat Von D. This is Lovesick. I am no longer supporting her brand, but this is one of my sort of favorite pinky colors. Her liquid lipstick formula was never my favorite, but I did love this color. It's sort of a more pinky toned mauve. This is from Bare Minerals. This is their Gen Nude in the shade Flawless. And this is more of that whipped texture that I think is so pretty, and it's a comfortable liquid lipstick formula. And then similar vein, very similar formula is from M Cosmetics. This is her Infinite Lip Cloud in Muted Mauve, and it gives that same sort of matte whipped texture. These do dry down, but they're very comfortable on the lips. This is from Huda Beauty. This is Trophy Wife. I had this in my pinks collection, and then I felt like it was looking more mauve, and oh yeah, I was right. So that is Trophy Wife from Huda Beauty. And then last but not least, this is a Peri Para Airy Ink Velvet. Peri Para is not cruelty free, unfortunately. This is sort of a light, it's a liquid lipstick, but it's got, still maintains a little bit of a slip to it. It doesn't completely dry down. It's actually very comfortable. All right, so I am gonna keep this first one from Maybelline. That is one that I think I really enjoy. Lover. I'm gonna pass on this Ofra one. I feel like this Ofra one is just starting to turn a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this NYX Power Puff Lippie. I think it's kind of cool, this sort of stained effect that it gives, matte, and yet doesn't dry down and have that like sort of lip sucking action that you get from a lot of liquid lipsticks. I'm gonna keep that. I am gonna pass on this shade Dopey. I just feel like it's turning, it's getting really difficult to deal with, so I'm gonna pass on that. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep my Kat Von D in Lovesick. I really do like that color and I wanna get some more use out of it. I feel like the next three shades in particular are all super, super similar to one another. So you have the Bare Minerals Gen Nude lipstick in Flawless. You have the M Cosmetics in Muted Mauve, and then you have Trophy Wife from Huda Beauty. So I think I'm gonna keep the M Cosmetics one here in the middle. I do feel like these two formulas between Bare Minerals and M Cosmetics are very similar to one another, but I kept my Bare Minerals one and decluttered a M Cosmetics one earlier, so I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna reverse that. I'm gonna keep the M Cosmetics one instead. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pass on the Huda Beauty one. And then I also feel like this pinky tone I kept in my pink colors. It's pinky mauve, but I'm gonna go ahead and pass this guy on as well. All right, so these are my very cool toned greige lipsticks. I do like this tone, but I don't wear it a ton. So let's swatch these and see which ones we want to keep. This is from Milani. This is Rose Femme. This is not part of their matte line. This was part of their satin line. We'll do that last. This is the shade Gone Greige from their color Sensational line. And this one's a little bit more brown gray, whereas that's rosy gray. This is from Maybelline. This is from Ulta Beauty. This is one of their Radiant Shine lipsticks in Game Changer. It's a little more brownish. So it's still got that greige undertone, but it's a little more brown toned. This is from Essence. This is their Instant Care lipstick. This is made with 20% shea butter, and this is the shade Daily Maybe. Now I will say this thing has gotten, if it's loose in there, or if it just doesn't go down completely straight, but this color is really pretty and really, really comfortable on my lips. I liked this a lot. And then this is from Maybelline. This is a Vivid Matte lipstick. This is in the shade Gray Envy. And this is a liquefied lipstick that doesn't quite dry down all of the way. And this one's got a hint more pink undertone to it. So I'd say it's more similar to that first shade we looked at. Okay, so I could sit here and tell you that all of these are very different as I look at them, but I don't need to keep all of them because I'm not reaching for all of them all the time. I really love how matte this is, this Gone Gray shade from Maybelline. I really do feel like it's a really nice matte formula, and I think I like that look with this very greige shade here. So I think I want to keep that. I think I'm going to pass on this first shade, which is Rose Femme. I've had this for a while and I just don't find myself reaching for it a ton. It's really in between a mauve and a greige, and I feel like I either want to go super greige or I want to go mauve, and this is somewhere in between, so I'm comfortable passing that on. I feel like I am not going to reach for this brownish shade a ton, so I'm going to go ahead and pass that on from Ulta Beauty. I'm going to try these two on. Let me see which one I like better. Okay, so I just tried these two on. I do think I like the more balmy Essence one here over this Maybelline one, so I'm going to keep this Essence one and pass on this Maybelline one. All right, so now we come to more of the purple shades. Some of these are straight purple, some of these are more purple pink. One thing I'm gonna immediately call out and just swatch and set to the side. This should have been in my pinks section and I accidentally tossed it in here. It is a beautiful color, but I know I kept a cool tone pink just like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this guy, and I'm just gonna count it here because it'll be easier. From what's left, okay, so this is Rimmel number 29. It is sort of a hot pink purple mix. It is a really interesting color. It's more of a shine finish. This is from ColourPop. This is the shade Sitting Pretty. This is their Luxe formula, very similar shade. This is from Kat Von D. This is the shade Suspiria in her liquid lipstick line, which is a little bit more purple. This is from ColourPop. This is the shade Panda. That one's a little deeper and a little vampier. This is a little baby Sephora cream lip stain in the shade 35. It's a color I was looking at before I went cruelty free, and I kept wanting to try it because it was like that really interesting greigey purple tone. This is from Bite Beauty. I think this is a discontinued formula. This is the shade Violet. It's one of my favorite purple shades because it's like that purple orchid color. I think is so pretty. This is from Essence. It's a Water Kiss lipstick. I just had this as part of my Shop My Stash, and it looks like the color is sort of separating in here, but I used it and I didn't have any issues with like weirdness or scent or smell. It is a really thin, watery formula that gives a really pretty, subtle sort of orchid kiss to the lips. I really thought it was a lot of fun to play with. And then this is from Too Faced Melted Matte. Not my favorite formula, but this is the shade Unicorn, and I have really enjoyed playing with this. I wore this to, I think, a friend's wedding when I was wanting to be a little more punk and cool. This one I really did like the color of. It wasn't my favorite liquid lipstick formula. Ultimately, here's what I'm thinking. I just want to keep a couple of purples, and I'm going to go ahead and declutter one, but I'm going to set it to the side because I really would like to find a lipstick replacement for it. So let me explain what I mean. This first one from Rimmel Kate, I don't feel like I'm going to reach for. I haven't reached for a lot. I'm okay letting it go. This Sitting Pretty shade from the Luxe lipstick line, it was fine, but this was one of those formulas that I found to be a little difficult to work with in the Luxe lipstick line. Like I said, I've tried shades that work perfectly. This one I just didn't care for on my lips. I do want to keep Suspiria from Kat Von D. I really do like that purple, and I like wearing it in a liquid lipstick when I do. This shade in Panda is pretty, but I feel like I've got other berry shades that I like over it, and it's more berry than purple, so I feel like I can pass that on and not miss it. Same thing here. I'm going to reach for Tea Rose from e.l.f. before I reach for this little Sephora one, so I'm going to pass that on. This shade here I feel like has gone off. It is old. It is from Bite Beauty in the shade Violet, but I'm going to set this aside because I do want to take it into Sephora and into Ulta and just swatch around and see if I can find a replacement for the shade, because I really love how this shade looks on my lips. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one, but see if I can find a replacement color from another brand. This Essence Water Kiss, like I said, I just used it this last month, Shop My Stash, and I loved it, so I'm going to keep it. And I think I'm going to go ahead and pass on this Too Faced Melted Matte. I got fun use out of it, but I'm just not reaching for it, and I think it's time to let it go. Alright guys, so we did pretty well this round. This is what I'm actually getting rid of, and this is what I'm keeping. So I'm keeping 14 sort of purples, greige, and mauve lipsticks, and I'm going ahead and get rid of 22, so that is 61% that I am getting rid of. I did just do a check through my nude pink lipsticks just to make sure that there wasn't anything sitting up here that was super the same as what was down there, and the only thing that was very similar was the shade Pasadena from Ofra with the shade Maybelline, but I've gone ahead and decided to keep both of them just because I like this Maybelline shade so much, and it has worn so well for me on so many work trips, and Pasadena from Ofra is definitely one of my favorite lipsticks too, so they are very similar, but I did make the decision to go ahead and keep both of them. But that is where we're sitting at the end of today's declutter video. So we have 2 more videos to go. We have reds and oranges up next, and then we will wrap everything up with sort of vampy and berry colors, and then I will show you kind of how everything is fitting back into my collection, so stay tuned for that. You will see kind of a whole collection, how everything is organized at the end of this whole declutter. So I hope you guys are having a great day. Look forward to talking with you down in the comments. Bye.